All right, so Kobe Bryant moves ahead of Michael Jordan on the career scoring list for all-time total points for a career. And I've seen that the media is actually out there putting pretty good perspective on this for once, which is, it's nice to see that there's been a shift with that. But there's some more things that I want to run through here in a minute. But the first and foremost, man, nothing but respect for Kobe. This is an amazing feat. I mean, the dude has had an amazing career. He's a legend. He's an icon. He is the most popular player from this era. He's the man. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. There's no disputing that, and there's nobody on this planet who can take an eraser and erase Kobe Bryant from that spot on the all-time scoring list when it pertains to career total points. There's nobody who can erase him. So that is phenomenal. Just think about the amount of work and effort and practice and discipline and, just the amount of games the guys played to achieve that feat is off the charts. And then the great level of excellence that he played at and his greatness to achieve that mark, it's unbelievable. Nothing but respect for the guy. I mean, but, and you knew the but was coming. So if that's what you wanted to hear, that's it. I mean, if you don't want to hear a comparison, just click X. Because that's honestly what I believe about him achieving this feat. Where I draw the line and what I'm about to cover, I'm going to try to get through it as quickly and as concisely as I possibly can. I could go into way more details than I'm about to, but where I draw the line is when this notion is perpetuated that, well, this means he's better than Jordan was. Wow, okay. So what I would like to do is counter that argument with some facts. Unlike a lot of others who like to use straw man arguments, I like to back up my arguments with facts. What do I mean by straw man arguments? Straw man arguments are ubiquitous on the internet. It's everywhere. All right, you see it all the time. Well, Jordan, his era. Jordan didn't play against cavemen. He didn't retire, but just about a decade ago. Okay, we're not talking about the 1950s here. And I've talked about the era. I've responded to that. I responded to the straw man arguments about defense and things of that nature. And why do you hear, and by the way, with quotes, everything that I've said about defenses, I can back up with multiple quotes from legendary coaches and things of that nature. But that's all straw man arguments. Why are straw man arguments used in the Kobe Jordan comparison? Ask yourself that. Why are these straw man arguments that are so ubiquitous all over the internet, why are these used when trying to prop Kobe up over Jordan? I'll tell you why. Because the tangible, salient evidence isn't there to do it the other way. This way. So let's go through it. Does this mean that Kobe is better than Michael? First and foremost, this is probably stuff that you guys have already heard. It took Kobe 5,387 more minutes played to pass up Michael, 197 more games played to pass up Michael in career total points. Well, duh. Okay. Obviously, Kobe wasn't going to achieve that feat in the same amount of time or minutes played or shots taken or things of that nature because he's not as prolific as Jordan was. That's why. That's what this means. He's just not as prolific. Nothing wrong with that. The Jordan standard is ridiculous. And for the record, when you look at LeBron James and you look at Kevin Durant, here's a fact. They're on a faster pace than Kobe was to pass up Michael Jordan in career total points, but they aren't even on pace to do it in the same amount of time as Jordan did. They aren't even on pace to do that. How do you know that? Right? Common sense, logic. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. We're not trying to, deconstruct the theory of relativity here. Points per game. Are they averaging more points per game than Jordan did? No. Jordan averaged 31.5 points per game as a whole, 30.12 points per game throughout his career as a whole. That Wizards years brought that down. But no, nobody's on pace because they don't average as many points per game, which tells you they're not on pace to do it in the same amount of time, but they are on a faster pace than Kobe was. So, this is going to happen again. These guys are going to move Jordan further down the career total points list because he left to play baseball. He had the whole thing with Krause and Jordan, and he left the Bulls. And I mean, Jordan left a lot of good years on the court. But the fact of the matter is, Kobe still has more total points. It just took him longer. When it pertains to attempts, Kobe attempted and I'm talking about the exact moment that Kobe passed him, 358 more shot attempts than Jordan. 358. With 936 less made shots. And you may say to yourself, how the hell could he have less made shots and he passed Jordan? It doesn't make sense because Kobe made more three-pointers and free throws. And we'll get to that in a minute. Now, another piece of common sense here, right? I mean, again, this isn't rocket science. We're not using straw man arguments. We're just looking at this logically. I mean, who didn't hear the news that Kobe became the all-time NBA leader for missed shots? I know I covered it on my website. I haven't been talking. I've been dialing back on YouTube, been doing more stuff on my site, but I talked about it on my website. And I know a lot of you heard about it in the media or whatever. That was a ubiquitous fact that was floating around the internet. And the fact of the matter is, that right there should tell you, well, if he's missed more shots than anyone else, that means that he missed more than Jordan to achieve this feat, which means he's not as accurate or prolific as Michael was. Done, right? I mean, duh. But to put a number on it, 1,294 more missed shots than Jordan, with 936 less makes at the time he passed him in career total points. That's crazy. That's a lot. And I'm going to explain the significance of this from my perspective using facts, and these will explain what I think is the biggest difference between Jordan and Kobe as scorers. Kobe's still the man. This is not, let's bash Kobe. This is just why I don't see him measuring up. Now here's a fun one because people go, well, Jordan got preferential treatment, and I agree. After baseball, there was some felonious crap going on, but as a Bulls fan, I don't want the Bulls to give up a single one of those trophies. Okay? Before baseball, not so much. Jordan took a hell of a pounding in his prime. But, so if you see a Kobe Bryant fan saying, well, Jordan got preferential treatment from the referees. All right, let's put that one to the test. 911 more free throw attempts for Kobe Bryant to achieve this feat, and 780 more free throws made to achieve this feat of passing Jordan in total points. That's a lot of free throws. Now, you may say, well, yeah, but that's 197 more games. Come on, Blitz, 197 more games. Those are skewed numbers. All right, yeah, well, then let's break it down to a level playing field and go to a percentage. 25.1% of Kobe Bryant's points as of the moment he passed up Jordan in career total points, 25.1% of those points came from the foul line. So 1 out of every 4 of his points were made free throws. And 22.7% of Jordan's points came from the foul line. So basically 2.5% difference. So Kobe, if Jordan gets preferential treatment, what's that say about a guy who scored a higher percentage of his points off free throws? Just saying. Like that's why the straw man stuff that's thrown out there is just so. Kobe with 408 more assists, less assists per game, but still more assists. 46 more rebounds again, less rebounds per game, but still more rebounds. Credit to Kobe. 646 less steals. A lot of people. Kobe was inspired by Michael, obviously, and you've seen different times in Kobe's career where he's really tried to put the clamps on guys as on an on-ball defender. And I mean, when he sets his mind to it, well, at least in the past, he's had some hellacious games as a defender. No, never won Defensive Player of the Year like Jordan did. 646 less steals, 269 less blocks. Now that number 269 over the course of their careers may not sound like much, right? 269. Kobe's only got 624 blocks in his career, whereas Jordan had 893. So with 197 more games played, still 269 less blocks. Kobe's never been a shot blocker. Jordan was a pretty damn good shot blocker. Kobe with 1,093 more three-pointers. Leads me to two things. Number one, yes, Kobe made shooting three-pointers more of a staple of his game. Here's a fun fact. Did you know Jordan had a higher shooting percentage from beyond the three-point line in the NBA Finals than Kobe has? Did you know that? It was Jordan shot, with all of their Finals appearances combined, 36.8% from beyond the arc, Kobe 31.3%. But this was the staple of Kobe's game, the three-point shooting. So, therein lies why he had so many more three-point shots made, because he made that a part of his game. And Kobe's had some crazy games from beyond the arc, obviously. But what people do is they will go straw man on you, and they will say, well, that's why Jordan shoots a higher percentage. That's why. Now, I'm going to explain to you why Jordan achieved this feat. This next little section I'm about to go through will explain exactly why Jordan achieved this feat in a quicker amount of time, in a more prolific fashion. This right here. Okay, this will explain the difference in shooting percentage too. Why the shooting percentage actually ends up being such a big deal. All right, so let's talk about games where Jordan and Kobe shot under 50%. Because as a basketball player, you want to make half your shots, at least. Anything over making half your shots is considered a pretty damn good night. Kobe, and we're going to go through a bunch of different percentages here, but Kobe has had, at the time Kobe passed Jordan in career total points, 302 more games where he shot less than 50% than Michael did. 302 more games under 50%. Than Mike. Okay, that's 50%. Maybe he was shot 49% on those nights or whatever. All right, fine. So let's go down to 46%, and let's see if we can find a trend here. 290 more games for Kobe Bryant where he shot under 46% than the amount of games Jordan shot under 46%. 290 more games under 46%. All right, 46%, maybe he shot 45%, right? Maybe, that's a lot of games. Maybe you shot 45% in those games. All right, fine. Let's drop it down to 42%. We're going increments of 4 here. 42%. Kobe with 266 more games under 42% shooting. 42% shooting. Now that's not good. 266 more games under 42% shooting than Jordan. That's 3 basketball seasons plus. 3+ basketball seasons accumulated where he shot under 42% more than Michael did. Wow. Okay, let's go to 40%. Let's see if this trend continues. We'll go to 40%. How about the games under 40% shooting? This is not including games at 40%. This is under. 244. Again, 3 basketball seasons, 3 full basketball seasons worth of games where Kobe shot under 40% more than Jordan. Okay, now you see that little field goal percentage, how when you actually look at it in context, Kobe has had 3 seasons worth more games under 40% shooting than Jordan did. 3. Let's drop down to 35% and see if this trend continues. It's a lot of off-shooting nights, my friends. A lot. 156 more games for Kobe shooting under 35% than Jordan did. 156! 2 seasons worth of games where Kobe shot under 35%. 2 seasons worth more than Jordan shooting under 35%. What I'm describing to you is a crapload of off-shooting nights. And he had 83 more games under 30% shooting than Jordan did. 83, a full season's worth shooting under 30% than Jordan. What does this mean? How do I wrap that all into a bowl, those numbers? How do I wrap this into a bowl? I wrap it into a bowl by saying that this is the difference between the two. I sat here in Chicago, watched, that's at the UC, watched Jordan at the stadium, watched Jordan on TV, watched Jordan's whole career, and I watched Kobe's whole career, and I say to myself, no, he's not Jordan, and the main reason he's not Jordan is because of all the off-shooting nights. What made Jordan Jordan was the consistency and lack of off-shooting nights. That right there is the main difference between the two. All right, fine. Kobe's played in 197 more games than Jordan at the time he passed of Jordan career total points. So Kobe clearly has to have more hot shooting nights than Jordan because, when Kobe's on, he's like Mike, he's this and that. So with 197 more games, how many more or less games than Michael Jordan has Kobe had over 60% shooting? Over 60%. 28 less. 28 less games over 60% shooting than Jordan had. 28 less. All right, how about over 50% shooting? 78 less. Kobe less frequently has hot shooting nights to Jordan, who more frequently had them, and Kobe more frequently has bad shooting nights compared to Jordan, who much less frequently had those bad shooting nights. That right there is as simple as I can explain the difference between the two. Pull out your straw man arguments, because that's all you got. All right, so let me just wrap this up. Let's see how many. I'm almost 20 minutes into this. I want to keep this video short because I know attention spans nowadays. Kobe with 197 more games should also have more win shares, if you understand the concept of what a win share is. It's basically a way of quantifying your contributions to your team. Kobe with 40.7 less win shares. You can go into the advanced metrics. Obviously, Jordan dwarfs him in PER, player efficiency rating, and all that stuff. But just a few more facts. Jordan obviously 10 scoring titles, Kobe 2. Jordan 6 Finals MVPs, Kobe with 2. 4 less Finals MVPs, 4 less league MVPs. Well, Kobe should have had more league MVPs. Yeah, so should Mike. He should have had more. I said the scoring titles, the Finals MVPs, league MVPs, not even close. Defensive Player of the Year, Jordan had one, Kobe didn't have any. And the NBA Finals, Jordan averaged 33.6 points per game for his career in the Finals. Kobe, 25.3. 8 points per game difference in the Finals. Jordan shot 7% higher in the Finals. Kobe with 41.2% shooting in the Finals. Ooh. And Jordan with 48% in the Finals. As far as the playoffs, Jordan averaged 33.4 points per game in the playoffs for his career. 33.4 Kobe, 25.6. Again, 8 points per game difference. Jordan shot 48.7%, Kobe 44.8. Let me break that down. Jordan had less off shooting nights. Kobe had more off shooting nights. Jordan had more hot shooting nights. Kobe has had less hot shooting nights. Okay? That's what that means. Jordan had 8, look at it this way. Jordan averaged over 30 points per game. Here's another fact I'll throw at you. In the regular season, Jordan averaged over 30 points per game, 31.5 points per game as a Chicago Bull. Kobe's only had 2 seasons over 30 points per game. Folks, this comparison Kobe's not Jordan. All the strawman arguments and all that other crap. You got to use salient, tangible, factual evidence to convince me, and it's not there. I've looked at this comparison a million different ways. I mean, like Jordan had 38 40-point games in the playoffs. Kobe with 13 compared to 38. 8 50-point games in the playoffs for Jordan. Kobe with 1. You look at the 40 and 50-point games, and you look at the 40, 50-point games, 30-point games in the regular season. You look at it any way you want. Jordan blows the man away. Folks, it's not even close. I understand that he emulates Michael Jordan's style of play. But he's not Jordan because Jordan was more consistently prolific than Kobe. It's like, I made this comparison before, and again, Kobe's a legend. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But I'll leave you with this. And in no way do I think Kobe is a fake $100 bill in the literal sense of the term. He's one of the best to ever do it. Okay? He's like, Jordan's the $100 bill, Kobe's like 90. 4 20s and a 10. But in the literal sense, if you're going to make a money comparison, but follow me here, you'll see what I'm getting at. So, a fake $100 bill. Someone could hand you a fake $100 bill, and you just, put it in your pocket. You wouldn't even notice. You put it in your pocket. Okay. So that's what I think the media has done over the years with Kobe. They hand you that fake $100 bill. When you look at the fine details of this comparison, just as you would a fake $100 bill, not calling Kobe fake, just trying to make an analogy here. You look at that fake $100 bill and, it's missing the stripe, it's missing the watermark. That's what this comparison is. When you look at the details, it's not even close. So in closing, congratulations to Kobe Bryant. He's the man. But he's not, never has been, or never will be as good as Michael Jordan was. And I'll leave you with that. I'm out.